17. That's how many NBA franchises have vanished, relocated, or merged since the league's chaotic early years. Most fans today only know the 30 stable teams, but the NBA's past is littered with short-lived experiments and forgotten franchises that helped shape the league into what it is today. The story begins in 1946, when the Basketball Association of America, the BAA, forms with 11 teams. Within just 3 years, 5 of those original teams fold or merge. Why? Because attendance in cities like Pittsburgh and Detroit regularly drops below 2,000 per game, so owners start bailing fast. The Pittsburgh Ironmen last just one season. Their best player, John Abramovic, averages only 11.2 points, but that's enough to lead the team in a low-scoring era. With no real star power and poor ticket sales, they quietly disappear by 1947. Meanwhile, the Detroit Falcons also crumble after 1 year, even with Stan Miasek pulling down 7.9 rebounds per game. A solid figure for the time. The franchise can't cover travel costs or keep fan interest. Detroit won't see another NBA team until the Pistons arrive from Fort Wayne in 1957. The Toronto Huskies, famously part of the NBA's first-ever game, survive only one season too. Poor marketing and financial losses haunt them. Fans don't even know they're watching history. It takes nearly 50 years for Toronto to return to the NBA with the Raptors in 1995. In 1949, the BAA absorbs teams from the rival National Basketball League, NBL, to become the NBA. The league swells to 17 teams, but that expansion quickly backfires. By 1951, 6 franchises vanish due to market failures or low attendance. One of those was the Anderson Packers. Owned by a meatpacking company in Indiana, they post a 37-27 record in their only NBA season. But despite that success, operating costs outweigh earnings, and the team drops out. The original Denver Nuggets, not to be confused with today's franchise, also go under. They finish dead last in 1950 with the 11-51 record and average fewer than 1,000 fans per game. Denver won't get another NBA team until the ABA-NBA merger brings the modern Nuggets in 1976. The Sheboygan Redskins and the Waterloo Hawks are more curious cases. Both teams hail from small Midwestern towns and can't compete financially. Sheboygan's gym only holds about 3,500 fans. Even with packed games, they can't survive long-term in a league shifting toward big city markets. The Indianapolis Olympians play 4 seasons and even reach the playoffs in each of them. But after 2 players are banned for point shaving in a college scandal, the team's reputation tanks. Attendance drops by 40%, and they fold in 1953. The Chicago Stags are a major loss in terms of market value. They reach the finals in 1947 and draw decent crowds, but arena lease issues and the inability to pay rising player salaries lead to their collapse by 1950. Chicago, a key sports city, is without an NBA team until the Packers, later the Bulls, arrive in 1961. The St. Louis Bombers, another charter member, vanish in 1952. Even with solid attendance, they can't keep up with travel demands and player contracts. Their exit leaves the Midwest underrepresented until new expansion efforts in the 50s and 60s. By the late 50s, the NBA has trimmed itself to just 8 teams, the so-called Original 8, as a survival move. It's not until television revenue increases and attendance rebounds that the league starts growing again. In 1970, the NBA experiments with expansion again. And that's when another short-lived team appears, the Buffalo Braves. They have talented players like Bob McAdoo, who wins MVP in 1975 while averaging 34.5 points per game. Yet ownership instability and a lack of arena control pushed the team to San Diego, then eventually to Los Angeles as the Clippers. Another team from that era, the Kansas City Omaha Kings, represents an identity crisis. The franchise splits home games between 2 cities, which confuses fans and hurts loyalty. After several rebrands and moves, they settle in Sacramento in 1985. The New Orleans Jazz launch in 1974 with Pistol Pete Maravich, who scores 31.1 points per game in the 1976-77 season. But despite Maravich's brilliance, the franchise struggles financially and with scheduling, as Mardi Gras often bumps them from their home arena. They move to Utah in 1979, yet keep the Jazz name. Even the Charlotte Bobcats, technically a rebranding, rather than a lost team, represent how unstable expansion can be. Launched in 2004 after the original Hornets moved to New Orleans, the Bobcats struggle with performance and branding, until they reclaim the Hornets name in 2014. These lost teams tell the story of a league that almost didn't survive. Franchise instability, financial mismanagement, and an uncertain fan base plagued the NBA's early years. But each failed team taught the league how to adapt by targeting bigger markets, securing TV deals, and building sustainable arenas. So while names like the Ironmen, Packers, and Bombers may be forgotten, they were stepping stones. Without their failures, the NBA doesn't become the 30-team global powerhouse it is today. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be posting a lot here. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.